Yo, yo. Yeah, some more live stream with the Sxiii. So when I ended the stream yesterday, I put the wrong dudes on the top here and the bottom here. So these guys have a bigger bowl. That's for the YD-2Es. But the SCX or the SX 3s run a smaller ball on the spindle, which is that dude right there, and that sits inside here. So let me throw this up here, see if there's anybody popping up. Oh, there's already 5 people on here. Crazy. I appreciate it. Is that right though? What's up, everybody? If there's 5 of you, 2 of them must be me, I think. Anyway, so this other spindle, I obviously have to throw the ball ends in there, and then we pop them in place, and we can pop the toe arm in place, and nice. Watching some live Tokyo in here, or on the Mac. Yeah, there you go. I'm busy winding that dude in there, and then we'll throw the toe mount. That dude will be that side. Nope, that side. We'll throw the toe ball on here. There we go. Just making sure I put this ball on the right side. Otherwise, I'm gonna hate it afterwards because it just won't make sense. All right. Holy fuck. They make these things so snug. Oh yeah, baby. I'll use my pliers again. I'm doing good. Had a super cool morning crawl with my brother Jordan. You can see the shenanigans on my Instagram. Let's just say we were drifting on ice with crawlers. Oh, come on, seriously. I need a better plier. There you go. Holy shit. It's pretty bad. I'll do this one upside down. Oh God, dude. Don't listen to Jordan, he's talking crap. He's right over there. Well, time to take you guys with me so I can grab the fucking tool that I need, and I don't want to take it, but I'm going to take it from the shop stock because I fucking need it. Pivot ball and shock multi-tool. Apparently this one's for free. Let's see if this thing works or not. Yeah. Plug you back in. That way we can stream a nice long stream. Should probably turn this. Oh. Okay. Let's see if I can use this thing on here. Let's see. Excuse me. So that's to pop a ball out. That's to pop a ball in. Hold the shock shafts. Pretty cool. Made by Techno Tuning? No. That's not right. How would I do this? Yeah, I guess so. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You know, my new best friend. Sick. Okay, so it's one side. I wonder if I can do 2 for 1. I guess so. That's one side. That's the other side. Are you kidding me? Should have grabbed this thing long ago. Holy shit. Now, how am I going to do this? Come on, be nice. That popped it so deep that it went all the way past the ball. That's not good. Mother trucker. There. Alrighty. Well, there you go. Well, that is linked up. Right? So, we'll put the steering stops on this sucker because you don't want to go past lock and then it gets stuck. So if you can imagine this pivot point here and this pivot point here, if any one of them passed one another, then it's too difficult to get it back. So if I go all the way here, see how now it can go past, right? So that's not good. So that's why you have the little steering stops. Now, on a normal YD-2 E or EG, you don't have that problem. But on the SX, there's so much steering throw that it can go past the lock. So we'll throw this guy in here. Oh, a whole bunch of people came on. Can you in? Those were great, yeah? I should have grabbed them long ago. My hand's already thanking me, man. Can you use the other rigs? Huh? What did you write here, Jordan?
Can you use them to take out your shock shafts of other rigs? Like if I want to take my shocks apart.
Yeah.
That's what they are, right?
Yeah. So it's got the little pinches here for your shaft, right? So if you have a 3mm shaft or a 4mm shaft, you pinch it in here, and then you can wind that stuff on and off.
Nice. So it's a multi-tool.
Yeah, it's to pop balls in and out and pinch things and make holes through your ears, because that's what that looks like, dude. Like, it's got this big silver pin here. Yeah, for ear piercings.
You think the shop?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna throw this other steering stop in here, nice and lazy way. Boom. So that guy here will hit the bottom of the arm. If you look right here, it'll hit the bottom of the arm, and that'll make it stop just before the over-centering point. And same here. Pretty sick. Cool, so that's the front end. You want these to move as freely as possible, but without a ton of slop. But the slop's okay. We're not racing, we're drifting. Slop would happen this way, but we're traveling this way. So, don't worry about it. Cool. So right now I have a little bit of toe in, but I'll worry about that when I am testing the car. Bottle opener. Yeah, dude, for sure. I'm having a awesome day, Ash. I went out for a crawl with my brother Jordan, and it's kind of cold outside. I think it's like -3, but the wind is definitely destroying us out there. The wind was cold, but everything that was water and like ravines and stuff that we usually crawl through was all iced up. So it was really sick. We had a blast until we got so cold we had to come to the shop and crank up the heaters in here and stuff. So that's the front end. Boop, up. What do I have here? Next will be the rear arms. Yeah, the rear arms, and I need bag 9. Yeah, bagger. You know what 9 is, because it's got the lower control arms for the rear. Stay open, book, come on. Anyway, show you what's in bag 9 here real quick. before I open bag 9, I might as well finish this. So within bag 8, we had this rear spindle right here, and then your rear CVD, right? And then you have these little pins. Well, it's not really little, but you have the pin that slides through the axle, and then you have the 5mm red anodized spacer or hex, and you'll throw that in. If I can line it up, there you go. And then you have this minute little screw that screws into the hex to pinch it onto the shaft, so the pin and all that stuff will stay together. Oh, come on. There you go. Should have done that in the first place. But yeah, there I'm screwing it in and then snugging it up. You'll see it's got the little pinch bolt here with a little cut through here, so that this pinches onto your axle or your CVD, right? So that's what you need. Then you have these little guys here. You will throw them on, and that takes the slap, for lack of better words, away in your outdrive from your diff. So it slides into it, so it is perfectly nice in there. And when you're really crazy on the trigger and e-braking and gassing and stuff, this guy obviously slaps back and forth, and that kind of protects it. I'm just cutting this little sprue off here because I have to. Can't help myself. First world problem. Oh man, come on. Yeah, and then I'll just repeat that here. Throw that dude in there. And then throw the hex on. And there she goes on. Get that little 1.5 screw or bolt. And throw that in there and snug it up by hand. And there's that guy. Put this little white diller in. I don't know what that is. Dog bone diff cup slap, anti-slap or whatever. Anyway, there she is, all ready to rumble. So there's 2 of them. Set them aside, obviously. And then also in that bag was the 4 wheel nuts. We'll slide those out of the way. And then I still have some crap laying around here. I'll throw them out of the way. Okay, bag 9. 9. Your rear toe plate, the toe plate spacer, some ball ends, some hardware to put that obviously onto the chassis, and then some pins. Obviously the bottom's gonna have pins, and then you have another 2 pins that puts, I'll show you now. Where's everybody from? You all from Canada, except for obviously Jordan. He's not from here. Anyway, here's this. Now I have to sneeze. There's your rear lower control arm. On the SX, they've dropped this shock mounting point lower than these points, right? SoCal, that's right, I forgot. Cape Cod, oh, Massachusetts, right? North Carolina, man. Cape Cod. Okay, I'm a dumbass. Where is Cape Cod? Is it that East Coast or? Oh, we have 3 people from Victoria. Ahmad is obviously from South Africa, which is originally where I'm from. New Zealand. Fuck yeah. Even better. New Zealand and South Africa is kind of close to the same time zones. Yeah, East Coast, the tip of Massachusetts. Huh? Oh, thanks, Canyon. Sorry, man. I'm pretty good with geography, but some spots I just don't know the names and stuff. Right, Cape Cod is on the east coast of Massachusetts. Thanks, Canyon. I appreciate it. Sick. Yeah, a good friend of mine used to stay in Massachusetts, and now he's moved to North Carolina. Because most of the fabrication that gets always team is based in the Carolinas. And I've been in Massachusetts before after the round New Jersey Formula Drift round. I had to go get there to go get a rig and then drive from there and then back to New Jersey and then from New Jersey to Georgia. So that was quite a drive. And it was just me driving the rig and the trailer, so yeah, I would drive 8 to 9 hours and then take a rest and then keep on going. That was a very awesome road trip. I can't remember the year that I was doing this, but yeah, that was the deal. Your blood is too thick. Grew up in Connecticut. Wow. Yeah. My blood used to be super thick. There you go, Jordan saying that he is living in Vic, but his heart belongs to Hawaii. Or that side of the world for sure. You would like the crawl out here? Yeah, I would like to crawl out anywhere. Shit, if I was stuck in an airport, I'd probably pop out the crawler and
The SX24.
yeah, SX24 and just go for a rip. Annoy the security guards with it. And, yeah. No, that's not my deal. I don't do that shit. Anywho, so lower control arm, the spindle gets a pin through it, right? And then a little itty bitty screw to hold the pin in, then a bigger pin here with spacers and a ball, right? And that obviously sits between this and the other one, and that's what we're gonna do right now. Now, I'll probably attach the arms to the chassis first though. Otherwise you have all this crap flop around and the spacers fall off and that kind of shit. So slide that baby through there. Throw a spacer and a ball end, or a ball on one side, spacer, ball. There you go. Spacer ball, shock mounts to the rear. Get all this wiring out the way. Oh, but I'm going ahead of myself. Oh, okay. New Zealand, South Africa, 1 hour difference. Sick, there you go. Yeah. So Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, super close in that timeline. Like, I think hours apart or something like that. Can't remember exactly. What toe was I supposed to throw in here? 3s and 4s, I believe. Yeah. Oh, you're kicking the bucket. So, oh shit. 3s and 4s. So, I usually cut these little sprue ends off when you take it off the little tree. So I call these trees or sprues, and when you pop them off, a little bit of that shit stays on there. And if you have something so tight you have to slide it in there perfectly, it helps you just to clean that area up. That way you don't have to fight with it. So I'll usually clean that up. Right. So that's all clean. 3 to the insides. There she is. 3 to the in. 4 on the back. But the 4 holes are outside, 3s are inside, so you create toe in on the rear. That way, when you jump off gas, she'll rip straight real quick. That's what that would do. Right? Toe in the rear of any car helps you get straight quicker. It's not really that good for acceleration. What do we say here? Where in South Africa are you from? I am from Cape Town, South Africa, but I grew up on the border of Namibia. I grew up on the border of Namibia, between Namibia and South Africa. That area is where I spent most of my when I was a kid, right? And that's also where I learned to drive like a maniac. My first vehicle was an old Willis Jeep, but it was never mine. I didn't own it. It was my granddad's, and that's where I learned to drive stick and in sand and shit like that as a youngster. And then, you know, I eventually got a different vehicle, from my dad, which was an old, super old TD90, like a Land Rover. And that I started driving on the street. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, Cape Town, South Africa. Sorry, I went too far with that one, eh? Okay. So while I'm talking crap, I've thrown the arms with the pins into the toe plate in the front here. Now I've got the spacers in the toe plate in the rear. I'm going to throw that on and screw it in, and then that's, you know, it's on there. You don't have to fight with it no more or anything silly. There you go. And that's what these two tapered heads are. We'll just hand thread them in, and then we'll throw the spacer under it, and yeah. Would be cool though, having you flight delayed and just to mark around, ask people if you can make a course out of it. Yeah, totally. Those are awesome Jeeps. Yeah, they were good, strong vehicles. I remember the Willis, the gearbox was a pain in the ass. You had to really be smooth changing gear, and then obviously when you're driving in deep dunes and stuff, if you fuck up, you're fucked. So I used to get stuck out there for hours and hours and hours. And obviously back then there was no cell phone, receptions out there. So you come home late, you'd know about it. My grandpa was no joke. He would whip your butt real quick. Welcome back, man. Doing much there. Yeah, so there you go. That's the rears. In there, there's the toe plate sitting here with a little spacer in there. And there you go. That's how much droop. No, it'll probably be down here somewhere, but yeah. It's just crazy that the front, we don't need that much. The chassis plate hits the low control arm, right? And then here, there's nothing in the way at all, so that can do what it needs to do, right? Pretty crazy. Anyway, now we'll take these spindles. Yeah, I should probably throw the little ball in the spindle, which is what your top camber arm, or the camber arm itself, would attach to. So I'll thread that in real quick. This video makes me want to go to the bathroom, Jordan. Fuck. Anyway. Yeah, no worry. Oh, yeah. Be safe. Why is that? Why is what? Just a bit. Cape Cod, South Africa. Where in SA from? Mr. Cape Cod, you asked why is that? What is, I'm sorry, man, my conversation and this is just going, I don't remember. You would have to ask. Or, yeah, remind me what I was saying. Yeah, facing back. Do the rear wheels droop? Oh, why do we allow the rear wheels droop? So that on acceleration, right, obviously it's gonna squat, but on e-brake or hitting the brake, the nose will dip so much that the rears will lose traction, right? So you want the nose to move, you want the weight to transfer to the front so that you can switch, right? imagine it dives and then your wheels are turning and then it dives and spins the rear. One of those wheels will kind of try and lift itself off the track. You want it to touch the track non-stop. Even if it's the bumpiest, craziest track, your rears must touch as much as possible. So you can keep acceleration and you can keep scrub, which is pretty much constant contact patch, right? That's why we don't camber the rear of the wheels either, so that the tire is super flat and it stays flat, so that that guy has the most grip, right? So then when we do e-brake or hit the brake and we want to swing in tight, that it doesn't rotate when you're off gas as much. And if your shocks unload, right, you want it to be able to unload all the way so that the, like I say, the tire keeps on touching the track at full droop. Yeah, that's why we do that. So I'll show you guys now what I've done here. The rad thing on this chassis is you can move these arms all the way back or all the way forward or mid, right? Depending on how tight the track is. If it's a super tight track, then you move the arms forward and it'll rotate on itself real quick. If your rotation's too much, quick fix is slide that all the way back, and now you have a longer wheelbase which rotates a lot slower. Right? Okay. So it's broken. So I slid this pin in here, right, that goes through this spindle carrier here, or the rear hub. So you slide that in there, and then you'll screw this in to keep that pin in place, right? And there's your CVD. That obviously goes in your diff's mouth. So, come on. You make sure that guy's straight. You place it in here, boom. And now all you have to do is take your top camber arm and then pop this dude on, which is sometimes not an easy. There you go. So there's the rear, obviously without suspension, but that's full droop, right? The shock will allow it to go, yeah, about that much. There you go. So I'll do the other side real quick. Why does that sound like a scraper truck, or is it the AC inside the building? Maybe so. There you go. Both of them on. And then the camber mount, or the ball for the shocks on the low control arm, we're just going to put it in the middle here. What do we say? Yeah, I'm sorry. I misread that South Africa and New Zealand. Oh, for real? Wow, that much, eh? Anyway, the SCX3 has so much movement. It's amazing to see it in action. The big bore shocks really help with this, I believe. Yeah. Jordan? Yes.
Yes. Hey, so what do you do if someone's going to race it on carpet? Would you recommend they still do dry shocks?
I would now, then you would start running oil and you would modify the piston.
So it depends on the environment in which you're going to be racing.
Mm-hmm. Depending on the traction, right? Like, so Jordan was just asking if, because I don't use oil in the shocks and in the cars that I build. I don't use any lubricant or shock oil for that matter. And you'll see that in a minute. I'll build it live here for you guys here in a second or two. But yeah, he was asking if you're running on a carpet or a high traction track, cement, that kind of stuff. Carpet mostly, man, and if it's a competition, sure, now you're gonna start running oil and that kind of stuff, or running a different coil for that matter. But if you're running oil, you'll definitely modify the piston holes for competitions, right? Or you can just be a straight gangster and just change the coil on the stock big bore shocks, right? You just change the coil and test it, and if it feels great to you, smash away. Right. So we've done a whole bunch of pages here. Shock building. Oh, shit. I'm gonna have to show you guys a whole bunch of different things here. Okay. So obviously, between the shocks, I want to say only the freaking shocks. The shocks on these things are a huge part of how it works and why it works the way it does. So bag 10 is obviously your shocks, and then you have another bag with 2 little bottles of oil, shock oil. One is Yokomo does a higher value, but it's pretty much a 20 and a 30, right? Even the 20 and 30 is too thick. But why and when do you run your shocks without oil? I always run my shocks without oil. I don't do oil in my shocks. I refuse to. So I would run it with a little bit of lubrication in it, so it doesn't get sticky in there, right? It won't be any of this stuff. It'll be something super thin, like olive oil or something really thin.
What about like green slime?
Hmm?
What about green slime?
Green slime? I've never tried green slime, so I've got no idea. But yeah, it's got to be hyper thin. Pretty much it's just there so that your piston and your shock shaft stays a little bit lubricated, so it can still be free and move the way it's supposed to be. Beyond that, you don't need to do anything, right? If you're running on carpet, you can still run without oil, but you'll change the coil rates to the grip rate. So if you're running, you know, the stock coils on the Yokomo, hopefully that allows it enough movement to still do what it needs to do. If you're running and you don't know, you don't know if the shock is hitting all the way, bottoming it out, the best way to figure it out is to put an O-ring on the shock shaft, right? And roll it all the way to the top of the shock, right? And then go drive 2 laps, come back, and then look where that O-ring sits. If that O-ring is all the way to the bottom of the shock, it's bottomed the shock out. It's pushing all the way to the top of the cap. So now you preload your coil, right? Like go almost like it's too high, and then test it again. And if it's not moved the O-ring, then you can dial it down again, right? or you can just change the coil rates. I know Yokomo makes coil rates that are meant for carpet. I'll show you the part numbers for the carpet high traction shocks. How about that? It's probably easier to show you. Where are they? They're probably right in front of me. I just can't see them. Oh, of course they are. So rear, forward type, right? This is the soft version, but it's still harder than stock. And then I usually rock these in the front and these in the rear, right? 1/8, 0.6, rear. Anyway, those are only 2 of the million options they have. So yeah, there's a stock pair of big bore shocks, and then rock the different coils. You're A for away.
It's coming along, eh?
Someone's spying on me.
I think it's gonna turn out pretty good.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. 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 Oh yeah. Super smooth surfaces, more action in the suspension, more loose. Okay. So if it is a super smooth surface, then you won't need oil. Even if it's on asphalt, you don't need oil. I don't run oil on any surface. Carpet, hyper smooth cement, asphalt, I don't run oil. I change the coil, but I don't run any oil. Just a drop? Yeah, just a drop, but not thick oil. Huh?
Afro tears.
Afro tears. So I have this fluid that I have, but it's hyper thin, and like I say, you can use where did I put that shit? Like I said, you can run olive oil, fish oil, just a drop, so it keeps everything lubricated. And I'll show you, I'll build it in front of you so you can see what I do. So I'm just grabbing my Afro tears. All right, it looks like blood, but look how it's super runny, man. Right? Hyper runny. The bottle's super dirty too. Fuck. But yeah. There it is. Secret sauce, yeah. Okay, I'll build one real quick. How about that? I'm gonna move this bad boy out of the way. So this is obviously bag 10. I'll build one real quick, and then I gotta jump off, and then I'll jump on within the next hour, because I need to go to the bathroom. So if I pee on the on the floor here, Jordan, it'll be okay?
We'll have your copy.
Awesome. I'm just gonna piss in my pants.
On live stream.
Yeah. When I start pulling a weird face.
It's a smile.
Fuck, I don't know if I want to smile while I do this shit. Sorry guys, I know this is a family show. Looks tasty. It's sugar. All the red, beautiful anodized. Ooh. Yeah. I'm keeping it red, guys. That's red with red. Come on. That's what it was. When I bowl the black ones, it's usually old oil. Yeah. And then gummy berry juice for the purple chassis. Yeah, I wish I had a way to measure. Oh, I just broke the chair, dude? No way. Man, okay. I'm excited. What I was gonna say is, I wish there was a way I could measure viscosity. Right? At least then I can go, okay, well, it's this weight, or yeah. Or I should just make my own shock oil. But the bottle will last you forever because you use a drop. Right? Can you use Q20? Yeah. Yeah, you can use Q20. Why not? Okay. So in this bag, you have the pink oil. That's for your rear. Pink is softer than the green. That's your front. A boatload of E-clips, which will take this piston and lock it in onto the shaft. Right? This is a Delarin piston. Right? And it's got rounded edges, which is fantastic. The YD-2E, you'll see the piston itself is very square. So what I usually do is I take a blade and I round off the piston so it's rounded, not squared. So it won't, you know, there's a little bit of play in that. So it won't chew into the shock body, right? It'll just roll through it. That's one of the mods I usually do. And then, you know, if you start running oil on a very, very high traction carpet with high competition compound tires, you would take, how can I show you this? This is a 4-hole piston, right? And you would drill the 4 holes bigger, and then you can go 6 holes or 8 holes. And then if you have 8 holes, I taper 4 of them to the top and I taper the other 4 to the bottom so that the fluid returns quick, and when, you know, compression happens, it's quick that way, and when rebound happens, it's quick that way. Right. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you with all the ridiculous technical crap that you can do, because you just don't need to. Anyway, so I'll bold one real quick. This is your big bore shock body, and the inside is Teflon coated, so it's super smooth. Right? There's that dude. But first things first, we need to put the E-clip on this guy. Right? I usually put it down on the table with the E-clip's mouth up, and I push down on the shaft and it pops it in place. And then I'll make sure that the E-clip's in there properly by rotating it so it seats in that groove. Okay, so now we'll throw the piston on top, right? I usually make sure that the circumference or the outside of the edge is hyper nice and smooth. And then I'll put the other E-clip on top here with the mouth facing the piston shaft. And then I'll take a pair of sharp nose pliers, and then I'll put the one edge on here and the other edge behind the E-clip, and I push it on. And there it is. Now also I'll rotate it, and she's good to go. Now, shock. We obviously have this see-through O-ring. We place that like on the back end of this. It's got a little mouth. We push that in there, right? Make sure it's seated properly. And then when you have this little guy with a little race, and the race goes to the outside, and then we have this beautiful red locking ring, and we'll thread that bad boy on there hyper tight because you want that to seal like real good. So that one's on there. Now this is where I do the gummy beer juice or the Afro Tears. It's my eye drops. I drop one drop here like that, and it'll seep through, right? And I'll drop one there. And that's it. That's the only lubrication that this shock needs, right? So slowly push that in there, and there you go. There's a little bit of residue here that'll lubricate the shaft on the outside, and it's smooth, right? There's no fluid there. There's no fluid. Well, there's residue here. You just wipe that off, right? And she's done. You don't want to feel any stickiness within that motion at all. There must never be resistance in there. Yeah, man. Beard oil will do it for sure. Yeah, any kind of oil like that, like, you know, like trimmers, they have that oil. If you have a proper Hall or whatever the maker's trimmer, the electric ones, and you put that oil, you know, so it doesn't get really nasty in there, that thin or thickness of oil is what you need. Anyway, there's this guy that's supposed to keep the oil in. Let's just say we're doing the back ones first. So before I go further, here's another sprue or tree. You'll see the shorter ones here and the longer ones here. Longer ones are for the rear, shorter ones for the front. So you use 2 of these and 2 of these, and you're good to go. So let's start over here. The Sxiii, funny enough, pink or red silicone cover, the big hoop, the nice red anodized lock, shock lock, or whatever. Good evening, Mr. Tim. Where are you from, Tim? Anyway, there you go. That one's locked. That's good. And then I should probably short stocks. Yep. I'll throw this. Now, finally, I can use my trusty friend here. That is nice. She's nice. Wind this in. I usually wind it till I can't do it anymore. There you go. I don't want to force it past that point. Boom. Top, bottom. I never use these little things. So this is a O-ring that'll go into this collar, right? And this collar is the preload. I never use that little O-ring. It's annoying as shit. Annoying to put it in there, and then it just is a pain in the butt to do small adjustments and stuff. And it's not like your shock is going to be spinning around while you're sliding and stuff. We're not racing on high level. It's not a touring car. I should have rather said. Anyway, so this is obviously for the back. There's Mr. Pinky. And then this sexiness right here is what holds the coil in place and then goes around the little shock cup or ball cup end that we just put on, right? And there you go. Super nice. Let me switch the sound off. So I got to do 3 more of these things, and then I will throw it on the chassis and then throw some wheels on so you can see how quick it moves. Oh, I'll show you real quick on Jordan's chassis, which is also a red edition, built the same way. Jordan actually built this car though, I didn't build it.
You make that sound so negative.
No, it's a positive thing, because you built it right. Anyway, so there you go. There's his rear pink shock, right? And it's got the longer hoop here. And that's the ride height he's got. And if you can see, look how loose that is. It's like sending Morse code. Right? And if I tap it back, even the front moves up and down.
See it on the car.
Yeah. So, no need for oil. And this is a very smooth surface we drive on here. Right? Excuse the burnout marks here, but yeah. It's like Navilon or something. Pretty smooth. But if we drive, will you look at the overdose sexiness?
So you can show your shock tube.
Yeah, I'll try and film it. I don't know how the fuck to film it. Oh, it would help if I plug that shit in, eh? Fuck me.
You just film it straight, maybe.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Is it?
I almost need to mount this thing on the chase vehicle. Do you want to try and drive this thing?
Sure.
Where's the battery for it? So this is my chase vehicle. It's a Axial Yeti Junior. Oh, come on. Oh, fuck off. Dude, I gotta go to the bathroom, man.
Go something about it.
Huh?
Something about it.
I'm just gonna throw you guys here. I have to go to the fucking bathroom, so. Sorry about that. I had to go to the bathroom real bad. I'm gonna strap you guys onto the chase vehicle and then hopefully that'll show you guys quite a bit of movement. I'm just trying to undo this mount. Oh, don't fall away. Yeah. For 5.6, come on. Alrighty. how you fuck up a body.
That's
But yeah. Anyway, I think you guys get the idea. Thank you, Brady. Let's get you guys off this camera vehicle. Just make sure it's off. Alrighty. What? Alright, just gotta throw you back on this tripod here. Shouldn't take me that long. Oh, come on. Why has it gotta be such a mission, man? Anyway. Let me see. Hopefully you guys could see that. I'm hoping. Of course now I put my glasses somewhere so I can see the fucking thing. I'm from the UK. Thank you so much, Tim. I'll read your comment in a second here, Tim. I just gotta find my glasses. And it's in my pocket. Yay! Oh man. Let me put this over here. Nope. Tighten this sucker up. Yep, something like that. I'm from the UK, but loving the content, mate. I'm new to the hobby, but your videos with RC Sparks got me interested. I'm waiting on a SX3, sick. I've got all the electronics, just waiting on the chassis and the radio. That's sick. Well, welcome to the hobby, man. Hopefully it keeps you out of trouble. It doesn't keep me out of trouble. It just means I'm taking crap out of my shop that I shouldn't be, right? Anyway guys, I've been on here for over an hour. Old age, yeah, no doubt, for sure. But with age comes knowledge, right? So I'm all about that. Yeah, this is an advert for Tim Hortons. I just realized I moved it into the frame. I was like, shit.
Free coffee.
Yeah. Free coffee for life, yeah. I want to take a little break. Actually, I just want to go smoke a cigarette. And I should probably not do that on here, because my awesome lady will want to whip my ass. So, which is okay. She can whip my ass all she wants. Nah, she won't do that. Anyway guys, I'm gonna take a break. I'm definitely gonna jump on a little later. I'm sure you guys also have shit to do than hang out and watch me do crap. Let's say in about 2 hours, How about that? In 2 hours time I'll jump back on, and by then the shocks will be done, and we can move on. Sheesh, there's not really much to do. The top plate, yeah, there's not much left to do on this chassis actually. Then it becomes electronics, right? So placement of the gyro and receiver and radio and. So thank you so much for watching, man. I've really appreciated it. You guys all freaking rule. Yeah, I'm a lucky mother trucker, and yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go eat food with smoke.